James Sully Sullivan, a good morning.
Hello, Taylor Cortland. Hello, Digby Beecham. Listeners, how are we?
Very well, Sul, but I dare say you're better than us ahead of what promises to be a massive occasion on Sunday evening, Sydney time, or certainly East Coast time.
Yeah, I think it will be. I think it's amazing to think that, you know, we've got the 23, 24 runners-up now meeting in this big one on Sunday evening, as you say, and the road to... You know, the road for both sides is, it's been okay, hasn't it? In this final series, they've both done well, and this Broncos side under Michael Maguire first year, it's really an intriguing clash.
Mm-hmm. We do need to take note over here, though, Diggers, because Saturday night daylight savings starts, so the game's on a little bit earlier, 4:30 p.m. WA time, so a little bit earlier than they have been for the rest of the season, Sol. So hopefully our listeners don't get caught out there. The Melbourne Storm, $1.72. The Brisbane Broncos at $2.12. 2.5 is the line. Over under 40.5. Before we get into your tips, James Tedesco last night crowned Dally M medal. I don't think there was any surprises there, was there?
No, there wasn't. I thought he was pretty sweet, especially after Metcalf got injured. So he got his opportunities and played very well at the back end of the season as the Roosters made that charge. And second time he's won it. Also the second time Tamika Upton's won it for the women's. So, yeah, it was a good... I thought it was a good night. It was well done. It was efficient. It was over and done. And, yeah, we thought Tedesco would win it, and he did.
Did you think Brisbane were going to be playing in a grand final at half-time on Sunday afternoon?
No, not at half-time. But as we've seen now twice, they've been down by that 14-point margin and come back, and they're 2 wins. They've only played the 2 games in the finals, as we know, but that epic clash here at Canberra, and then last week what they did to Penrith, and they just controlled the ball better in the second half, Diggers, and they put Penrith, it just caught up with them, didn't it? Penrith made some errors in it that I hadn't seen for a long, long time. And then, you know, the Broncos did what they had to do, and they nearly let it slip when Reece Walsh hits the upright in that win, and then Adam Reynolds from the sideline says, yeah, give it back to me, son. And he did the job. So can they afford, though, to let the Melbourne Storm lead by 14 points? I don't think so. I think they'll cut their head off them if they do. They'll suffocate them, the Melbourne Storm. So that's a big thing. The key for the Brisbane Broncos is essential, in my opinion.
Yeah. What are the two playing styles like? How do they match up?
Well, it's a good point you make. You probably, if you look at the pack of the Broncos, you're probably looking at a few more, you know, obviously Haas and Carrigan. Carrigan's back in this week. And you look at this Melbourne Storm pack who's, you know, just workmanlike. They do the job, but their spine, I think their spine's that's the key. Harry Grant, Jerome Hughes, Cameron Munster and Ryan Pappenhausen. That, to me, is probably the best spine in the competition. And what we saw last week, we saw Pappenhausen and Hughes get some miles in the legs. Similar to Reynolds and Mam for the Broncos. I know the listeners will say the same thing, but that's the big key for me. And the kicking games are crucial because you've got Coates and Warbrick, both big men, and both are leapers. Both can get high in the air. You've got Carapana and Mariner. They'll cop some traffic in the air. They really will because, as I said earlier, you know, to be fair, in the last few weeks we've mentioned Coates and then Warbrick coming back into the side. So that's probably the crucial part of the game. Scoring points hasn't been a problem for the Broncos. But if they're put under pressure, which I think they will be by this Storm side, it's how they react.
Out of 10, Sol, what mark would you give the Storm's performance in their prelim against Cronulla?
Yeah, I'd still go an 8.
Okay.
Yeah, people are saying... I don't think Cronulla's getting enough credit. I thought Cronulla scrapped. And as I said last week, they bring you down to a level and they make you play at it, the Sharks. That's exactly what they do. They bring you down. They bring you down and they'll scrap through everything and you just got to do it. But at the end of the day, you know, Harry Grant took that opportunity late. And I think this final series has been one of the best ever, Diggers. So, you know, I think they did what they had to do. Was it their best performance? No. And this is the thing. We haven't seen them turn one on yet. If they do, watch out.
Yeah, all right. Jerome Hughes, I mean, we've spoken about him all week. It's just remarkable what he was able to do in that preliminary final, and the fact he's going to back it up. I got no idea how you could do it.
Yeah, well, the funny thing about that was he really tested it. The way he pushed away for that try, using the arm, I thought, oh, he's off and gone. But he was so important, wasn't he? And that clash on the weekend, you know, Reynolds, that's another big one. Reynolds and Hughes, and then how Michael Maguire uses Ezra Marm. That's a big key because you look at this, Bellamy Madge, you know, it's amazing. 14-2 to Bellamy. It's one of those big ones, and that's what I said. The Storms won 17 of the past 19 against the Bronx. But it was round 27. The Broncos did take care of him when Hughes broke his arm, incidentally. But I just think it's one of those games you're just going to watch and just be in awe of.
Just listening to you, though, Sol, you have a leaning towards the Storm?
Yeah, I'm not going to change, Diggers. We threw them out in our season predictions way back in March, didn't we? So I'm not going to change that. I know this Broncos side have found a little bit of form, but the key, as I just said then, you cannot give sides leads. And this is the big one against the side that I always call them the boa constrictors, don't they? They just suffocate you. But this Broncos side, they've got points in them, and it's how they react. Mate, let's be totally serious. I can't wait to watch the two number ones because you go back. You've got Reece Walsh. You go back to 2020 when they last won the comp. Ryan Pappenhausen won the Clive Churchill medal. There's three left from that side. Munster, Hughes, Pappenhausen. He was a boy then. But these two fullbacks, it's a big stage, and we all know they love a big stage.
Well, have you had much to do with Craig Bellamy?
Yeah, I know Craig. Yep.
Just remarkable what he's been able to do with that club.
Mate, it's amazing. When 23 years he's been there, finals 22, and now 11 grand finals. It's incredible, isn't it? What they've done, and you know, the end of that. On the other foot, Michael Maguire's the drought breaker, Diggers. When you think about it, Wigan Warriors, South Sydney, New Zealand. When he was coaching the New Zealand side, we saw what he did for Origin last year with New South Wales. 19 years since the Broncos won. He's up and about too, Madge. He's pretty happy. He said, I've got them where I want them. It's up to them now.
It's vindication, is it not, for the Broncos hierarchy, because they made that tough call to say to Kevy Walters, not for you going forward, but we're going to install a disciplinarian, a bloke who can get the most out of what we perceive to be a very talented locker room.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head the way you said, the disciplinarian. We all know Kevy's got that little bit of larrikin in him. That's the end of the day what bit him on the you-know-what, I reckon, because, you know, he's turned them into this. There was complaints at the start of the year, he's too tough. Geez, haven't those blokes got back into the forest quick? We haven't heard from them, Buzz Rossfield and the like.
Yes.
But both very similar because at the end of the day, Madge is one of Craig Bellamy's as apprentice. That's where he learned his trade, down there. And you've got to remember, Craig Bellamy learned his trade off Wayne Bennett at the Broncos. That's where he got the coaching, well, what's the word for it? The coaching flavour. That was it. He was up at the Broncos for a long time under Wayne Bennett. And now we've got the apprentice in Maguire up against Bellamy. So it just states it. And two sides are in good nick. That's the bottom line.
All right, bets. How do we make money?
Well, I'm going to go. What are we around $3? I think the Storm 1 to 12. Right. More than happy with that. Katoa, he's been our man all year, Diggers.
Yes.
Eli Katoa from the Storm. So first try scorer, he's $12. Anytime he's $2.70. Now, I'm going to go on anytime try scorer for the Broncos. He's coming off the bench. Ezra Marm. Now, he's $4.50 to score any time. Wind the clock back 2 years. We know what he did. His broken play for the Broncos nearly won that game by itself. So I'm more than happy to play there. Clive Churchill medal. I'm going to go Harry Grant, $7, lads. And if the Broncos do win it, bit of redemption for this bloke, Ben Hunt, at 21s. But I'm going to go Harry Grant at 7s.
$7 for the medal. Ben Hunt, $21, you say?
Yeah, he's 21. If the Broncos can get up, Benny Hunt he'll start in the halves, then he'll go to 9, and that'll be interesting to see how it goes.
All right, and $12 for Ali Katoa for the first goal scorer there for the Storm. Beautiful, Sully. Look forward to it, and you'll be on Sunday morning. Any late changes and all that sort of stuff, you'll be able to update the team on the aftermath.
Yeah, and we can have a look at the other games on Sunday morning. Of course, the NRLW, Roosters v Broncos, and the Burleigh Bears taking on the New Zealand Warriors in the National Championship as well. So look forward to chatting to the boys there.
All right, beautiful. Enjoy the weekend.
Stay safe, lads.
There we go. There's James Sullivan with his plays for the NRL Grand Final.